Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I want to thank Overseas Chamber for conducting this. I believe this is the fourth conference on climate change जो आप लोग conduct कर रहे हैं. I would have really liked to be there, but I'm on an official business visit to Saudi Arabia, and therefore I could not be there in person. देखिए, as all of you know very well, climate change is real for Pakistan. 22, the catastrophic flood, and what it caused in terms of damage, in terms of overall GDP, you know the numbers, etc. I'm not going to go into that. But at that point in time, it was one river, essentially one large province, and one smaller province which got affected. Fast forward 25, this time around 3 rivers and almost every single province in the country. So the frequency and the intensity of what is happening is on the rise. And therefore, I've been very clear, so have a lot of my cabinet colleagues, all of those who are present in the room or on the screens would fully agree with us that this is a real existential issue for Pakistan, because it's not about the immediate economic recovery and stabilization and growth. This is all about our ability to realize our potential as a country, and the only way that's possible is if we negotiate this challenge with a real sense of urgency. अब देखिए, उसके लिए the various building blocks are in place, have been in place. Our NDCs, the National Adaptation Plan, the Climate Prosperity Plan, which has come out, also the Green Taxonomy, which has been rolled out by the State Bank. It was in Baku that we had rolled out the country climate finance strategy. So a lot of these building blocks are in place. Now, when we come to funding, because हम हमेशा बात करती हैं billions of dollars of gap, पर मैं हमेशा ये बात करता हूँ कि जो है उसको तो इस्तेमाल करें. And of course, we should continue to talk about the gap. So, what do we have at hand right now? So, first of all, the support that we have from the multilaterals. So, IMF ki, climate resilience facility, which is available, which is $1.3 billion. $20 billion ka jo program hai, 10-year country partnership framework, which has been signed with the World Bank Group, and we had a very, very fulsome discussions with President Ajay Banga while he was here in Islamabad around that program. And 1/3 of that program is about climate change, resiliency and decarbonization. ADB की भी इसी तरह ही facilities मौजूद हैं, AIB की facilities मौजूद हैं. Then we have, some of our, the loss and damage fund and the green climate fund. अब इनका मसला ये सिर्फ ज़रूर है कि these are there in the form of grants, but the issue is that some of this has not been operationalized the way Sharm el Sheikh में ये decision हुआ था, number one. And number two, we have turned them into very large bureaucracies. Even before you can talk about funding, getting accreditation going is an issue, and this is not something which I'm saying here in this forum. I've been very public about this on international forums as well. But then you also see other resources which are available. It's very, I hope Acumen Fund, gets all their funding in short order. इससे पहले हम इंटरनेशनल कैपिटल मार्केट्स में भी और डोमेस्टिक कैपिटल मार्केट्स में भी इस चीज़ को टैप कर रहे हैं. The WAPDA's inaugural bond, which was done a few years back, was a green bond. इसी तरह जो green sukuks यहाँ इशू किए गए हैं in the domestic market. The Panda bond, which is underway at this point in time, and hopefully we can execute it sooner than later during Q1, is going to be a green bond. And then, of course, we have other things which are going on in terms of carbon credits and debt for climate and debt for development swaps, etc. All these areas are available, जहाँ ये फंडिंग की सोर्सेज हम इकट्ठी कर सकते हैं. इसमें मैं दो चीज़ें एंड देन आई वुड कंक्लूड. One is that the role of the private sector. And that's where all of you become so critical in terms of your thinking, in terms of especially the knowledge, the know-how, the success transfer that you can do from other locations where you are, and how you can help the country. Because from my perspective, it's not only funding, it's really the technical support and the technical know-how and the knowledge transfer which can come in. And that goes into my last point, which is about capacity building, which is about bankable, investable projects, जहाँ ये funding जो इस वक्त available है उसको mobilize किया जा सके. And that's where I'm hoping that during the course of this conference, again, you will give a lot of time in not only in terms of what and why, because I think we are all in wild agreement that this is a real issue for Pakistan, whatever and wherever the world might be moving towards. So your concrete ideas in terms of public-private partnership and how we can work together to negotiate this challenge going forward. Once again, I'm very grateful to Overseas Chamber for organizing this conference, for inviting me, and I wish you all the very best for the conference itself. I look forward to all your thinking and deliverables and discussing when I visit Overseas Chamber next, or you send me your proposals. Thank you again.